box, remove yourself. YouTube's advertisement won't come off of my screen now. Peace, peace, peace from the house of Tanya 23. Always working on the temple of Tanya 23. Tonight, I have invited some Zoom folks, or my original set is Zoom. And since there's been so much focus on war, murder, killings, violence, all forms of violence is on the rise. And since I feel like I have something to say, but something to share, something to give, and something that will help some is showcase myself in any way. I'm just here as Tanya 23 to talk about how I process my own anger. That's the topic, anger. How do you process it? Very interesting subject. And I'm actually in the process of formally studying it. There's so many areas of study. I started in the healing area of working with the energies of myself, and now I work with others. But let me just turn this volume down. In my process of doing energy healing work, of course, I've discovered that before we actually need physical healing work, there's a lot more going on. Everything has a source. Everything has a beginning. And so sometimes by the time we get to need healing work, with that, there are so many other self-development modalities that we must continue to work on, coupled with the energy healing. And the top three, stress, anger, and grief. So I'm also Journeys and doula. So as a doula, I'll deal with those topics separate. I actually have a separate YouTube channel for Journeys and doula. It just began to seem like I know I'm expanding. I know my thought patterns are expanding, but the management of channels, and I'm not ready to really delegate anything to anyone just yet. But soon I will be. And so I'll have the time to delve into, things that I actually practice and know, which is the only way that I can share it with anyone else. So me, Tanya 23, my motto is, I am every woman, but I am not every woman's savior. but I can share the tools that I found to be effective. And that's what this channel is solely about. And what I've done thus far is just sharing my life and what I do. Um, that actually became lucrative. But it all started with self development. I've gone through many levels of self development. First, starting with retraining myself, um, deprogramming myself, and that's a never ending thing. I'll be doing that uh, for the rest of my time here. But like many others, we're all individuals, and I'm here to be an individual and just share on my channel. Um, no agenda. Absolutely, the goal is to share my knowledge, my way, be original, be myself, and just to literally look at this as a source of recording my biography. I'm actually a writer, and I think long term. So my main purpose or intent is to build this channel and have it as a reference for my own tribe, my own family. And when we begin to attract others, that's fine and dandy, but that is not the sole purpose. It's actually more record keeping as far as YouTube goes. We all say and we all know that the actual work happens outside of YouTube. And by the time I get here to do any presentations, I've gathered information and double checked what I'm going to share with the people. What else can I say? Let's see what's going on with our tunes, because I work with the music and I must have the music. Give me the music. So we'll have a low tune playing. That also helps me to relax, because being on camera in this YouTube world, I've seen some scrutiny. Where are you guys? Okay. First of all, what I need to do is find my YouTube page. Here it is. It's always in Chrome. And share the link to my friends on Instagram and Facebook. I'm actually an off-camera podcaster, much more successful. If you check me out on Spreaker, you will see House of Tanya 23. And I've actually been doing this since 2013, more so on the podcasting side. But I've been on YouTube. I think my channel goes back to 2013 or 14. Because like I said, my intention in the beginning, I started out as Shea Butter Me, and I evolved completely into the House of Tanya 23. And so let's just share this on Facebook. We go through many stages and phases of myself as a Scorpio or as a being on a journey. That happens with all of us. But we all would like to think, and we know that our journeys are unique. Join me on YouTube Live to talk about anger. Grrr, I'm angry. I can do some editing later. I can actually do that as well. And also teaching yourself and stuff like that, the different ins and outs and keeping up with the technology that you need. You need your certain equipment and accessories, perhaps multiple devices. I mean, a lot of people can just run their channel off of their cell phone and just be regular. But I was an executive assistant for 35 years. So I must have my desktop set up. That's a must. And plus, as an entrepreneur, I have to have things categorized, record keeping, and different things like that. Because running a business is not easy. And you cannot do it out of your pocketbook. At some point, you're going to need a binder or two if you're going to do it right. But anyways, that's not the topic of discussion. Tonight's topic is anger. And I'm going to have to switch back over to Zoom, which means I can't really look at the chat right now. Is this? Let's forget COVID. And I have multiple Facebook pages, multiple Instagram, because I'm also a 23. This is going in May, will be my 23rd year for Tanya 23 as a notary, and I'd like to call myself a master. Everyone has a subject that, or two, or three, because I actually have 5 subjects that I've actually taken the time and gotten the education and earned degrees. So, yeah, and I paid for every single one. So, it's my time now to make myself more accustomed to doing these videos. I don't have a problem with the research or getting the content. I have so much content. The thing is putting it out there already. And it can get overwhelming when you have a lot. Because I'm a product maker, so I discover something every day. New ingredients, new combinations of ingredients, new ways of using things. And I know we all like to think that we're the only ones that do this, but no, we're all coming alive and waking up and tapping into our abilities. And I say, more love, more light, and more blessings to everyone. Do you. Allow others to do them. Always have split perspectives. Never always be able to take in multiple perspectives on a thing. And if you can, do that before you make major decisions. Like really weigh the pros and cons. That's a simple way of doing it. But let me get this page, this link to this group. Join. Also, what I wanted to do was make sure that my information is something that one can use right now. Is you is Facebook telling me I can't post on my own people? I'm sharing from that. Why am I even logged in if I can't? Oh, sign out. You have just witnessed the main group leader being told she cannot sign in to the page. I find that to be utterly wicked. If you go on my Spreaker website, you will see that I do different stories. I'm a storyteller, and I actually did something on utterly wicked. I don't have any issues with anyone. I don't have any problems with anyone. And if I did, I would kindly remove myself from the dastardly situation, whatever it may be, which is sometimes on the list of tips about processing anger. I actually have a white paper that I created of 5 pages to go over with you. So I'm going to run through, you know, talk through the information, but basically give it to you because that is the purpose, is to make sure I give you this full information that I have discovered and have been using. Another thing is I want my information to be what you can implement once you receive it. And it requires no monetary investment up front, but it does require your time to invest in yourself. You know, it costs nothing. That alone should attract you, especially in these days and times. I should have brought my water. And I'm not going to say what I'm drinking. It's definitely not alcohol, but who needs to hear CMOS again? It's the second most used word, probably, but it is good for you. I will say that. You know, everyone is criticized. You can't say anything anymore. You're not original. You're always trying to be like somebody else. If more than 2 people talk about the same subject or whatever, you get called a biter and all this other stuff. We're not going to participate in that, just for the record. I talk about educational things, how I feel about the state of the world, and my love for Mother Earth, and my love for myself. I always hear a lot of podcasters get criticized for speaking about themselves. Why does someone always have to speak about someone else? I don't find that to be anything to really contemplate. Let me get into Zoom so I can share the screen. And one thing I'll share before I get started is to all those who may be feeling like what you want to do in life, you cannot do it. And I am just commanding that you do it, because that's all it takes. One step, one foot behind the other. And most of all, please get out of your mind what anyone thinks of you, because loving criticism does not hurt. Loving criticism does not hurt. And there is no reason to tear another person down and criticize them at the same time. One thing I can do is control my areas. And here at the House of Tanya 23, we do not participate in tearing each other down. There's no way I can talk about, and I say we because I understand I am a multiple being, able to access any one of the many voices that we all know we have that speaks to us. I've always been good at pulling in and channeling this information from my higher self. If someone was to look at my planetary star chart, you would see I'm not just sitting here saying that or regurgitating what someone else is saying. But enough explaining myself. Let me let my little research speak and share the information. So I'll be going to Zoom. Okay. And let me get ready to record. Yes. Again, welcome to the House of Tanya 23. We are creating this for the archives. Welcome. Tonight, we're going to talk about anger and how we process it. And if you just give me a moment, I'd like to share my screen. But where'd the music go now? Okay. Yes, let us get some tunes. So while I'm setting up, let me ask you this question and have you think about it. How do you process your anger? Are you a person that gets angry? You must be. So think about how you process it. All right, okay, I got that volume down. We can get there. Be able to share. Yes, I think that worked. Okay, we can come off of there. Music genres. Let's see. What shall we go into? Let's do a little hip hop beats. Can you listen to dark hip hop and not be dark? Good question. I like just some R&B, really. Some soul right about it. Everybody needs some soul in their life. And we're speaking anger. Anger can tear down the soul, keep your heart from being light as a feather. Yeah, right on time. My bad. I gotta share my screen first. All right, kiddo, get it together because you want this to be effective. Okay, share screen. Let's go into this one first. I love the depiction here. And let me read it. With conviction, are you about to pop off or step to your business and give someone a piece of your mind and possibly a fist? Well, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm so glad you've joined Tanya 23 for some popping anger processing solutions. Tonight, we're going to figure this out because he's so mad that his veins are popping out, his fists are clenched, he is stretching his face skin beyond capacity or what is needed to look youthful. And if she keeps it up, she's doing the same thing. Just by clenching and restricting your muscles like that. Done too often could never be good for your body, family. We got to learn how to listen and how to talk to one another. Apparently, we don't know how. But this is what I want to share. All of the information that you would need to be on your way. Let's start out with what is anger management? What I will do is ask for your patience really quick. I must run and get a bottle of water really quick. So I'll be right back, family. All right. Appreciate your patience. Appreciate your patience. Okay. Yes, back to our regularly scheduled program. What is anger management? Well, anger management is the process of learning to recognize signs that you're becoming angry and taking action to calm down and deal with the situation in a productive way. Anger processing is a way to lessen the effects that anger has on you. Let us highlight that. That is actually the most important reason, and it's safety of yourself and others. It's the most important reason why this is so serious. And above all the different other things that we're dealing with, I find this one to be the most important in these times. Yes, as many people as possible that can learn these skills for your own self and your families and the people that you are responsible for, which is the children. This actually should be taught in schools as part of the curriculum from young and keep on going into levels of, you know, because the children need it. Why is my screen sharing paused? Oh, I see. Here we go. I opened up the document from a wrong way. See, great example. There are so many different ways to do the same process, and I'm just sharing a portion of these ways because my soul is telling me to do this. And what I find is when I satisfy a soul urge, because not all desires come from the soul, but we should know which ones do. And when I recognize something that's within my soul, I know that's part of what I need to be doing and working on and pursuing for myself. That has been a guide. What do you feel in your soul that you want to do with your time and your talent and your existence here? Besides the regular mundane activities that are latched on and attached to us forever. Like paying your bills. Perfect example. At this point in humanity, they're trying to make us pay forever for things that are supposed to be given unconditionally. So getting rid of some of the anger in the world could not be anything but awesome. So definitely a lane. I have little tools like I love Shungite. Just recently I heard some negative information about Shungite, which I haven't had a chance to delve into and research, but I have no belief invested in it, no energy whatsoever. My personal results that I receive from my Shungite sphere is incredible. And I've journaled my experiences with Shungite enough to prepare a nice little ebook. And that's on my other mosquitoes alive already. My product is going to help with that, eradicate that problem. But yes, my journals, I have enough personal experiences with Shungite, and I'm not going to invest in that. So, anyways, let's get back to this. It's so easy to get off topic, but yes. So we talked about what anger management was, and we talked about the most important reason why anyone would even invest any time or energy into developing this part of themselves. And as I said before, I believe if they want to mandate something, I believe this should be taught in schools, a regular part of the curriculum at different levels and stages, at every grade, actually. So, yes, when we talk about solutions, there are many. We just need to listen to one another. And be able to gauge what's real and what's not, what's useful and what's not. All right. So the most important thing is lessening the effects that anger has on you. I'm sure, let's do this. I like to do unplanned things, but let's ask Siri how anger affects the physical body negatively. So let's just ask. We want to know, so we're going to be precise. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Can you tell me the statistics on how anger negatively affects the human body?
Okay, I found this on the web for can you tell me the statistics on how anger negatively affects the human body? Check it out.
Out of many, many articles, I'm just going to pick one that talks about the effects of poorly managed anger. And I'm just going to run down and give you the bullet points, which is coming from verywellmind.com as a source here. We are in the age of information. We have different devices. So when I come on to present, I'm not in a classroom setting. I'm relaxed. I'm being me, and I'm giving the information the way I present it, and I appreciate your patience. Please take the meat out of the information, and whatever is not your preference, please don't put any energy into it, and then it'll be a positive experience. Connections between anger and stress. When we feel overly stressed, we can become more prone to anger. And in this state, both anger and stress can become more difficult to manage. When the fight or flight response is triggered, that is what the main used word right now. So I am trying to help people not get triggered if they listen to my information. So when the fight or flight response is triggered and we are psychologically aroused as a result, we may find ourselves more easily angered. Here are some reasons for this. Stress. Factors that contribute to stress, like threats to social standing, That's more and more on the rise. Anger within the social media. Um, you're under just too many demands in your daily life, and emotional threats to emotional well-being, relationships that don't work out, sometimes cannot just be ended without going through the anger stage. Anger and stress can feed off of each other. And where we may become more easily angered when stressed, and poor reactions to anger can create more stress. Am I making sense so far? Because to me, it makes exact sense, right? And exact as far as me comparing it to a journey or my journey. Um, Stress absolutely was more than 50% of where my personal anger would come from, being stressed out. Um, I was a single mom for a long time before I got married for the first time. And so I did everything. And it was tough because we all know it takes two to make a child. And when one parent gets stuck with the load, it gets hard sometimes. You know, we love, but we hold in the stress. It is stressful. And that eventually will result in anger. And when you're a single parent, a lot of times that anger is directed at the children. Unintentionally most of the time. And that makes it even worse because it hurts you to see that you've hurt the feelings or the emotions of your child. That's a hurting feeling. So, and they call it psychological arousal in a negative way, because you could have arousal in a positive way as well. But when this happens or escalates or continues to happen, this will lead to being quick tempered, aka triggered easily. Okay, so we're getting into some of the meat. Challenges that result from poorly managed anger. Damaging to one's health and personal life. Breakups, because sometimes marriages can't survive through the anger. And they don't end correctly if someone doesn't get help. If someone isn't the bigger person and says, okay, look, I need to see somebody. I need to actively pursue managing my anger. Actually, before, it would be great if this could happen before you land in jail for not being able to control yourself and physically harming someone, assaulting someone. Um, Researchers found that 98 participants, they tested 98 participants and found that after 8 days, those who had less control over their anger also tended to be slower healers. Absolutely slow down your healing process in your physical body. And sleep is supposed to be a healing process for the body. So if the body is stressed out and the sleep isn't healthy or comfortable, yeah, that literally, after a while, would result in sickness. Um, among many other things, but ignoring it is the number one thing to not do. Um, this repetitive anger should not be ignored. Um, and sometimes if it's within a family, it's usually the one who recognizes it and comes and says, like, listen, we want to keep our family together, or whatever, we need to um, do something. And I think that starting to see a counselor is the best thing. But there's not always that afforded, so to speak. Not everyone can just go sign up for counseling unless they have some sort of funded program or whatever. So we're working on that as well because something has to be done for the people. And they should be willing to support, everyone should be willing to support someone that needs to come out of a very angry state. That person needs to be supported by their family, friends, and the people that work with them as far as the counseling. So that would be the biggest part. We could go through the solutions, but being able to implement them is the most important part. So moving right along. Oh, man. Hold on one second, family. Yes, I have a new grandbaby in the family, and the gifts are still rolling in. So um, my daughter's godmother is going to be coming by to bring a gift for my granddaughter. So I'm going to go need to open the door shortly to bring it in the house. And it'll just be really, really quick. But I appreciate your patience. I have to roll through this information. So yes, we are so many things. I'm a happy grandma, 3 times actually. And not by my daughter, my son has 2 children. So yes. What are the best anger management skills? Let's get to the practical stuff you can use, okay? We'll come back and break this down, but I just want to give you guys something you can use. Anger management helps you recognize frustrations early and resolve them in a way that allows you to express your needs and keep you calm and in control. Relaxation skills can help you control your anger. These various methods that can relax you, such as deep breathing exercises. Avoid putting up blame or criticizing anyone, as these can always make a situation worse. Start participating in body movements. It doesn't have to be yoga, but it could be yoga to control anger. Working out, riding a bike is something. If you have a bike, you can implement that right away. Hop on your bike. Not really advised to hop in a car so much. You definitely don't want to be too angry driving, but sometimes a ride certainly calms me down. But I love my car, so I'm never going to try to hurt myself or it. So for some, taking a ride would be the good deal. But if your anger is like really out of control, you definitely are not advised to get on the road. And you should know when you should take external help. You've got to be able to know when you can't control it anymore and you need to look for help. And for those that are not going to see it, I hope that there's someone around them that can suggest it. Um, because actually, anger is a normal feeling and can be a positive emotion when it helps you work through issues or problems, whether that's at work or home. However, anger can become problematic if it leads to aggression, outbursts, and physical altercations. That's what we're trying to avoid here. That's what our little society has a problem with, big time. And that would most certainly be physical altercations. Anger control is important for helping you avoid yes. So anger is normal, but you can be a transformer. It can be positive. It could be a positive emotion when it helps you work through issues and problems, whether that's at work or home. But we don't want to get to the aggression. Take it from me, I'm a Scorpio. And one of our, what they call characteristics or whatever, is the ability to become extremely angry and revengeful and stuff like that. And I must admit, I suffered with that. I suffered with it. But I was able to become mature. Number one, me becoming a mother softened me up. That was the trick for me, just becoming a mother and looking at myself and others as children of the earth. Like I just look at, I don't expect whatever I get from people is what I expect. I don't go over my expectations except for my children. Like I expect certain things from them and require a lot from them, but that is also healthy and normal because it's all positive. But others, I definitely control my, I listen more and I pay more attention to the words I say. And I intentionally, um, I'm a fair person, this and that. So, unless I'm being the one that's having aggression towards me, I don't get aggressive. But at a point in time, I would meet aggression with aggression. And I mean, by the grace of the creator, I am here, but I have had many, many, many altercations. Just luckily, I could protect myself really well, but I have had altercations. And another thing, I was mainly in the right and in defense of the defenses. So you pretty much have great energy forces working with you when you are defending the oppressed and standing up to someone that is showing you aggression. So I have never had a problem with solving those types of issues effectively, I should say. But what I want you all to know is There are specific strategies. Number one, try to count down. We've all heard the count or up, count down or up to 10. If you're really mad, start at 100. In the time it takes you to count, your heart rate will slow down. If you know that every time you get super, super, super angry, you could damage your heart, would that help you? Because after I give you these things and you implement them and you say that they don't work, then perhaps there's some more deeper psychological delving that needs to happen, like targeting specific areas of your life if it's not directly where the anger is coming from, but you can definitely find it. That's not a problem. Take a breather. We talked about that. Something you can implement real quick. You know, sometimes you got to be in the same room with the person, perhaps the same bed with the person. Go ahead and just start counting down. Count down and breathe. Breathing works for so many things, and it works for stress that has nothing to do with anger. Breathing works. Slow, deep breaths from your nose and exhaling out of your mouth. It says several moments, but I say as many times as you need. Yes. Take a walk, exercise, can help calm your nerves and reduce anger. For a walk, go for a walk, ride your bike, or hit a few golf balls into oblivion. If you have an open field or something, that would be great, some woods or whatever. Anything that gets your limbs pumping is good for your mind and body. So actually, what you're doing is redirecting energy. Redirecting energy. We all must become good at doing that with ourselves. If we haven't practiced, we need to get to practicing like ASAP. Me, myself, I am in the process of practicing not being jolted in my heart area with information, like phone calls and different things. Just because I have received some calls and information throughout the time that's like, just that, and the other, and it's so tragic that I literally have felt it in my chest. So that must be avoided. Muscle relaxation, because the muscles and the heart is a muscle. It's the first thing that tenses up when we start to hear the crack or go through whatever it is. Try to relax, people. I mean, it's easier said than done, but we have to try. Try to relax in places where you would be tense, in situations where you would be tense. Consciously realize you're tensing, and then you can relax. It's all about being aware. We use the word conscious so much, I almost don't want to use it, but because what I'm saying is more towards being, conscious means awareness, being aware of what's going on with you. The next time you get angry, I challenge you to assess the motions that your body goes through. Do you pace the floor? Do you pick things up and put them down and then forget where you put them? Do you, you know, erratically just start cleaning or cooking or eating or something on impulse? Like those things start to take note because they're all a result of having your nerves upset, and then it's a chain reaction into the anger. So try to pick one of these things that works for you. Stretch. You could do neck rolls, shoulder rolls, just basically any kind of body movement that helps you to release energy, that helps you to release. Me, I love music and just moving and flowing. If I need to cry, I must cry. Whatever it is to make myself feel better. Besides destruction, doing destructive things to yourself, baby, because you don't have to hurt yourself. My hope is that this information gets out to someone because you can learn from anything. So I hope that my time in the algorithm moves through and that anyone that would listen. And my positive meditations are going out to all. Just 1 second, please. Oh, I heard the door. Nope, not yet. Almost dropped my sugar ball. Oh my goodness. Go on this, back on the little stand. But yes, family, those are things that we can use right away. Mentally escape. I love that one. I'm almost an expert at that. I can be invisible at any time. I will look. I'm going to meditate for a little bit. Boom, I'm out. And that's what I do. I take my quiet time. Even at work when there's a break, I always knew a spot in the building when nobody wasn't there that I could just chill for 15 minutes. And I'm like, where are you? It's like, oh, taking a walk. I'll be in there chilling, right up in there. Meditate. See how long you can sit quiet with nothing. No TV, no music, no nothing. Now, mind you, in that atmosphere, your mind's going to race. Thoughts are going to be just coming, but just let them come and let them go. And then you'll start to go into a different state, which is a lower energy state, a lower thinking state, or frequency wise. When you relax, your brain slows down. So mentally escaping is great. Focus on details in the imaginary scene. The colors you like, what color is water, what color are mountains, birds chirping, what do that sound like? If you're a good visionary, that's an excellent tool to use. Just go away without going away. These past couple years, we've all had to try to find a place when we were told we can't go outside. We had to find a space inside that we imagined was somewhere else. I know we all did that. Play some tunes, as I said before. Music does it for me. Sashay your anger away. Or get crunk. I think the crunk dance may have been, not may have, it was an excellent way to process and get rid of anger and tune your body up also. Stop talking. That's major. When you're steamed, you should just be quiet. Because some people just can't be quiet. And it's such a terrible words, terrible, angry words come out. And we regret it most times, not all the time. But we should never want to use words as weapons unless it's for good, in my opinion. Disclaimer, everything I've said tonight is my opinion, and the sources that I shared of what supports my information is also disclaimed. We are not physicians, psychologists, but I am a natural healer, that I will say. They didn't give it to me and they can't take it away. So I will say that. But all of this information legally, we must say, is not from a doctor. But this is from the heart and soul of the House of Tanya 23. End of discussion. Try to stop talking. Keep your mouth shut, just like you did as a kid. This time without speaking will give you time to collect your thoughts in a more appropriate manner. Give yourself a break, take a time out. If you're at work and under a stressful situation and you can't take a break, and you have to stay in that present situation and get through the end of the day, and your boss is intentionally not giving you a break and he knows you're pissed and about to pop. This is in the most important time for you to activate your breathing and your calming down. And at the same time, picture you're somewhere else. All this stuff can happen within 60 seconds. Okay, I think my daughter's here. Yeah, she's here. So, okay, guys, let me end this. I love you all. And as the goddess loves everyone, and I can say that because I want to. Hi, sweetie. I'm just getting off and I'm going down right now. Okay, everyone. Peace. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for joining the House of Tanya 23 tonight. 1.